Tracy Lewin and
Peter Murray. Good morning, Tracy. How are you?
fabulous, thank you. How are you doing?
Perfect. We've had some technology gremlins this morning, so hopefully we go through the whole thing now without a hitch.
Yes, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Let's see.
Okay, so these are the headlines, or rather some of the headlines that of news stories this week. The full stories are found on our Facebook page, Bit Media. So, you're welcome to go and have a look at them. So the first story, Roger Ver launches casino on Bitcoin.com and Americans are not allowed. How's that?
Well, I think it's, gambling laws in America, but I think Roger Ver is starting to use these. The best thing I think, sorry, excuse me. Roger Ver is known as the Bitcoin Jesus. And he was one, he actually bought some Bitcoins at a very, very low price. And I think that's how he made his money. But I think he's going to make even more money with this website he registered called Bitcoin.com years ago. Because as Bitcoin grows, that site comes up in the search engines all the time. So he's using the site now very cleverly to make additional money.
Yes, exactly. So, for anybody interested, go and have a look. As long as you're not in America, if you want to do some gambling. Now, Japan seems to be, honestly, Japan is doing so much better. Here are two headlines. Japan's Tech Bureau raises 6.5 million for Bitcoin and blockchain services. And also another one saying Japan could come to dominate the Bitcoin landscape because there are early adopters of technology.
I think, they are. And also, there's all kinds of things the guys are looking at. You were talking about smart cities in Dubai. I saw another thing that's not on here about Japan looking at building smart cities and stuff using blockchain technology and things like that. So that's going to be very, very interesting.
Yes, very much so. And this is actually a comment that comes from BitX, which is the exchange that's in South Africa. Actually, they operate in South Africa and in Asia. And Bitcoin in Africa could leapfrog, just like cellular phones replaced the landline. And earlier we were talking about people in Africa, sub-Saharan Africa, actually, not many of them having bank cards or bank accounts. Yet in South Africa, there's quite a, it's quite a high percentage of people that do have the bank cards.
Well, I think the main thing in sub-Saharan Africa is everybody has a cell phone.
Correct.
So, people have been looking at payment systems through cell phones and stuff like that all the time. And Bitcoin is your that's the one to use.
And also, in the world, there's a lot of migrant workers. So, these are the people sending money back to their country. And, obviously having a Bitcoin account and moving Bitcoin around the world is far more cost effective than using the old ways, Western Union and those kind of guys.
And faster.
Yeah, and absolutely. Deloitte seems to be in the thick of things as well. They seem to be doing a lot of development as well around the blockchain, and they demonstrated blockchain use for the art industry. And basically, it's really just tracking art to see where it is, what the journey is, and who owns it, that type of thing.
Yeah, Deloitte is doing a lot of research. It's funny. I was talking to somebody about this not yesterday evening, the night before. About the accounting firms like Deloitte and those guys, doing all this blockchain. They come out with blockchain reports all the time, but really they're coming from a consultancy point of view, not from a business point of view or entrepreneurial point of view. So it will be interesting to see how many of these ideas are actually picked up by businesses and new products will be created.
Yes. Yes, that will be interesting to see. And here's another one about healthcare. Congressional committee hears testimony on blockchain in healthcare. The same type of thing. So, let's see what goes forward with all these initiatives, because there's many industries that are getting involved, because everybody, everybody kind of finds a reason to get into the blockchain. You know, they're wanting to get rid of their old processes. And as you say, Peter, as you mentioned earlier, it's a lot of these big companies, banks. They're really using the blockchain to try and cut jobs and, you know, be a lot faster and that type of thing, more efficient.
Well, the reason why the guys are having so many congressional hearings is they want Congress to start making laws to accept blockchain records. I saw there was one of the US states that are now going to accept, you know, some records on the blockchain and stuff like that. And that is really very positive, you know, for mainstream adoption.
Yes, that was Delaware, and that is about businesses, registrations and stuff. Okay. Now, President Barack Obama, who's almost out the door, he has set up a presidential cybersecurity panel, and it hears blockchain testimony by IBM. And the interesting thing is that the members on this panel are people like the Uber chief of security, a professor from the Institute of Technology of Georgia, Microsoft also in the thick of everything. So interesting to see what goes down here.
Absolutely, and just another application for this.
Yes, absolutely. Now, Bitcoin startup blockchain releases code for Thunder payment channels. So basically, this is about moving people into how to make transactions on the Bitcoin network faster and more effective to the public eye.
Well, you know, we were talking about that, and people were saying, as more people join Bitcoin, isn't the network going to be slow and whatever? And we were saying, we reported on this a little while ago, people are going to start building alternative payment structures onto the blockchain that will make payments immediate. And this is just one of those things that's going to happen. And I think there's hundreds of these type of startups that's going to start that will make Bitcoin payments immediate, which means you would be able to use your Bitcoin wallet in any store, anywhere, just, you know, by scanning a QR code. I can see a time when QR codes are all products and you just scan it and you pay for it and there you go. You take it and you leave.
Yes, and actually one of the comments they told the reporter was that Thunder is already open sourced. It's more functional today than other versions of Lightning networks because it's the first network of the style that settled back into the main blockchain. So yeah, I think interesting things are going to happen in this space.
You know, I mean, this is a lot of things that are happening where people are trying to replicate the blockchain and do things off blockchain. But this just proves again that the things that are actually going through the blockchain and are verified and are using the open source system is going to prevail over time.
Yes. Okay. And you know, Peter, you went to see you went to a meeting this week, and you met up some guys on the DAO. So the actual heading over here is the DAO, or how a leaderless Ethereum-based organization managed to raise $50 million.
Yeah, I mean, that's very interesting, you know, setting up a what they call it, a distributed autonomous organization. And what it really means is you're setting up really a company that is a democracy. It's very interesting. So you don't have your normal hierarchy in a company, and you can set up a company, and the company will then create tokens, which is, and this is on the Ethereum network. And people that work are then compensated by these tokens, and those tokens could be either part cash or total cash, or they could be ownership. So your ownership of the company actually then becomes, you know, belongs to the workers. So it's a total democratic society, and the more you work and the more you do, the more you can build your ownership, which is what workers always wanted. So, you know, this is a total different concept because it's creating an organization that's not registered anywhere. It's totally open source. and it can function as a normal business, but without any restraints and without the normal structure.
And actually, it's only been going for a month, and they don't actually know who started it.
Yeah, so Satoshi started it.
Yes, Satoshi started it.
You know?
But the only way to speak to the DAO is to make a proposal and vote. So it's definitely democratic, which is what Bitcoin is all about.
Yeah, it's all about, people to make collective decisions on how they move forward.
Yes.
So you're really building an organism
Yes.
that grows.
Yes.
So there's many things you can do with this. I've been thinking of a few applications myself. Well, interesting. While I was at this thing, there was a place specifically for the world place. A guy's building a business called Colony, which is really a colony of workers. And also, while I was there, Tracy, I managed to buy outside the place where they hosted this thing was a burger stand called Bitburger. Now, because this is in a very funky area of London called Shoreditch, and very arty and funky and stuff like that. And you would think that this Bitburger would be healthy, but the actual fact is it was like a cholesterol bomb, because it had a hell of a large hamburger that was roast. That it was actually out. The guy was outside. It's an outside thing, so it was quite nice. So you had this burger and the egg and cheese. It's like the old, if you saw the old Dagwood comics, one of those stacks with big chunky chips, for American friends, chips are French fries with tomato sauce and stuff over it. So it's really, and it's just really, and I paid in Bitcoin, which is amazing.
I hope you took photographs of it, Peter. But
I did. I took a lot of photographs there. Yeah.
And I also just want to say, I hope it was a good burger, because you know what, in a few years' time, that burger probably cost you a few million.
Well, you know what? When I walked home, this is like an area. There's like these hundreds and hundreds of curry restaurants. It's like, and they've got people all the time outside offering you deals on curries. So when I walked home, I was actually sad that I actually bought the burger, because I was so filled up I couldn't go for a curry.
Next time. Yeah, but tell them only if you can pay in Bitcoin.
Yeah, curry coin.
Well, I was actually quite excited when I saw this next article. Over-the-counter coins. Bitso begins selling Bitcoin from convenience stores, and this is in Mexico, and it's actually making the purchase of Bitcoin so easy for the Mexicans, because they've teamed up with another group, and now Mexicans can actually buy Bitcoin at any of the 29,000 supported locations at corner stores around the country. I mean, this is an incredible move.
Yeah, Mexico gets so many remittances. I mean, it's in the billions from the US every year. So they are looking for ways to cut costs and also send money seamlessly. And Bitcoin is perfect for these purposes.
Yes, absolutely. Well, this is quite exciting. I wonder who's next. I wonder which country's next.
Yeah.
In South Africa, we've had some issues with people not disclosing their academic credentials, or rather disclosing too much of it. In other words, they are false. So here's a school in San Francisco. It's actually a software engineering school, and it's called Holberton. And they've begun tracking students' academic credentials on the Bitcoin blockchain. So quite interesting, this, and certainly a good move.
That's very interesting. I think this is a move to get, information verified, on the blockchain. There's all kinds of new things that I saw. There was this land company that you can now register, Bitland, title deeds on the on the blockchain, and all kinds of stuff. And this is just going to. I spoke to somebody at this Ethereum thing that we just talked about just now, looking at building a database that would store UK driver's license information and stuff like that, also on the blockchain.
Sure. So it's actually just getting more and more. But besides actually
Yeah.
making sure that the person has actually got this, you know, the academic accreditation that they say they have, it's also time saving, you know, because, and also money saving, because for employers, then they don't have to spend all the time checking, you know, checking the candidates. They don't have to get third party people because, you know, as you know, the blockchain is public. So quite a few pluses here.
No, absolutely.
And this one I wanted to add in just because we actually spoke, we touched on it a little bit earlier. Coinbase co-founder Fred Ursham, he says that Bitcoin's open network beats private blockchains. You know, many years ago, it says, yeah, the people using corporate intranet say they wanted the efficiency gains the internet provided without any of the Wild West scary stuff. You know, of course, all the stuff that does go on the internet. But 20 years later, we know that the open internet is where all the interesting things happen, such as open network environment, a shared protocol that anyone can build on. So yeah, there's a lot of companies that are starting to think about and working on building their own blockchain. But you know, is this a great idea? Is it good? Is it bad? You know, what's your opinion?
The companies and the banks don't understand that this is a new paradigm. This is a total mind shift they need to make. And then the guy's right. They're making exactly the same mistake they made with the internet. Everybody tried to build the company intranets. Do you ever hear that anymore? No. Everybody uses the internet now. And it's going to be exactly the same because the useful technologies are going to run on the open source blockchain. Because you know, companies always want to be you know, keep their stuff private and secret and whatever, and also, like we said, they don't really want to use the technology for innovation. They want to use it to save money and cut jobs. You know, oh, there's a process. Let's put this on the blockchain, and then you know, we can eliminate 5 people doing that now manually, which is good and fine. But in actual fact, they're missing the bigger picture here. And the banks are going to be left out because they all want to build blockchain programs and stuff like that to facilitate their legacy business. They don't realize that their legacy business are being disrupted. And the legacy business is going to, you know, is like the buggy whip. It's going to go away because of their own actions, really, over the years. But the fact is, this is a new technology, and you know, there's new companies and new banks going to come up, and that are totally different to the animals we have now.
Yeah, absolutely, and we're looking forward to that day.
Absolutely.
Okay, you touched on it a little bit earlier about putting land on the ledger. A new blockchain initiative, Bitland, is putting land on the ledger in Ghana. And basically what they wanted to do is they want to stamp out corruption, and they want to free up the trillions of dollars that are locked in locked capital for infrastructure development. So this definitely is a fantastic move forward.
Oh yes, this is fantastic, and you know, I think that the blockchain is going to change the wealth of Africa.
Yeah.
This is what Africa needed, because the big thing about Africa, you know, Africa is still in all aspects really, you know, first it was colonization, but the thing in Africa is what they call rape and pillage. You know, the resources are taken, and the African countries, you know, how much money are hidden in tax havens and stuff like that. For people that are having businesses in Africa, putting that ownership in offshore jurisdictions, and then moving that money out of those countries. You know, there's so many applications, you know, that can stop a lot of these things. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. This is just starting it off. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how this develops over time. in Africa.
And the other thing is, Peter, just a little bit later on this presentation, there's a bit about solar power, and in fact, at the bottom of this article, Africa's got a huge problem with electricity, and there's lots of generators that they need and all that type of stuff. And now this company, Bitland, is saying that they cannot rely on the existing local infrastructure because rolling blackouts are the norm. They're going to be setting up solar-powered Bitland centers that will function as hardware hubs for the Bitland wireless network. So these guys are forward-thinking, and honestly, it's incredible.
You will see that finally what's going to happen, and I think this is what I mean. With these technologies being developed, it creates a consumer society that on our part of the mainstream economy, that consumer society needs to be online and needs to be connected. And for that, you need electricity. And that's going to create a huge a surge in technological information, technological development in the electricity space.
Mm.
It's electricity is not just for cooking and for eating water and stuff like that. Now you actually need it to make a living.
Yes.
You could still get away by making a fire or getting gas or using something like that to cook and heat. Now you're sitting with the point is you can't use gas and the fire to put up your computer and to get linked into the new economy. So this is going to light up our dark Africa.
Yes.
In my view.
Yeah, I know. It's very, very exciting.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Tracy, there's so many people that are very negative about the world economy and about things going on. And I understand why. You can make this whole negative scenario about the government's printing money and, all the financial crises and I know all of that. But the fact is, the other side of that is, every stick always has two sides. And the upside of this is that we have tremendous technological development, more than we've ever had. And I think we haven't even seen the beginning of the wealth that's going to be created in the world. And this time, that wealth is going to be much more evenly distributed. And I think if we look back in 100 years, we're going to say, look, this was like like industrial revolution, because the first thing that happened is we had the information age where the internet developed, and that information sharing created a whole new world already. Now we've got a transformation in economic power, and then the biggest commodity in the world is money, and that commodity is now being transformed from central control. Why it was had to be centrally controlled anyway in the first place is totally beyond me, because that's what created so much misery and wars and stuff like that.
Mm.
And so this whole move towards decentralization, you also see it in politics, where people want to govern themselves. They want to, it's called devolution of power. So you have this political move on the one side, and now you've got this economic move, which is going to create a totally new society and a prosperous one. I think we're in for wonderful times, not bad times, but people need to embrace these technologies and find new ways to use it to create more productivity, to create new fascinating products, and be more productive.
Absolutely, Peter. I back you and wholeheartedly on this. I think incredible, exciting times ahead of us. Well, yeah, we go back to Roger Ver again, but I just really wanted to talk about this, their store that they have, because the stores is focused on creating, creating compelling, unique items that engage conversation and showcase the passion we share with Bitcoin. And the interesting thing is the vendors, the suppliers, they are all from all over the world. The products come from all over the world, and it's also like an open source standard, so involving everybody. Obviously they're going to be taking a nice cut from this, but at the end of the day, it gets people active and a platform for them to make money.
Excellent. all I can say is excellent. But Bitcoin.com is, like I said, is a very, very popular website already, and its popularity is just going to increase. So I won't be surprised if he launches more stuff on this
Yeah,
website.
absolutely. So casino, check. Store, check. Education, check. So let's see. Okay, so now here's this.
Well, I think the next thing he's going to start doing is put up like social networks, like dating sites and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows?
We'll see what happens.
Why don't you and I set up a dating site? That sounds like a good idea.
It almost sounds like you're asking me on a date, but anyway, we'll talk about that later.
Okay, Peter. Here's this article that I mentioned about the solar. Nasdaq, the stock exchange operator, explores how blockchain could fuel solar energy market, and really this is about solar panels connected to the internet, and you can actually, what they're saying is you can even they've raised $6 million in venture capital to build technology that allows traditional electronic devices to be connected online. So exciting, this. The world needs we've got terrible electricity problems, as we mentioned, in Africa. So yeah, exciting, very exciting.
Exciting, yeah.
Now this, I really, really loved this video, and I urge everybody to watch this video. You know, did you actually ever watch the film Final Destination back in the 2000s?
No, I never did, but I did watch this one.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm not a horror film fan, but I did watch snippets of that movie, and it really creeped me out. So the interesting thing is when he created this, it's a chap called Edward Blake, calls himself the Renegade investor, and he's based in the UK. Puts up some really, really good stuff, and certainly this video, you know, talking about Bitcoin, the banks, and you know, how the whole thing is going down, and it's just so eerie that it's so similar to the movie. So I really, really suggest people to watch this.
Where should I watch this, Tracy?
The link,
just, you know, tell us.
Yeah, the link is on the Facebook page, and I think what we can do is we'll put the link on YouTube as well in the comment section. Well, not in the comment section, you know, on our video as well. We'll put it there
in the description.
In the description, so we'll put it there. But because I just think this is a movie that you need to, a video you need to watch.
Yeah, and it's also on your blog, so people can go watch it there.
Yes, and another thing we came across is how to start a fake cloud mining business with Uncle Scam.
This was very funny. This is also on reported on BitMedia, so go watch it there. Uncle Scam explains how you can build a fake cloud mining business, and it's, you know, it's also a bit of fun. But what amazes me, Tracy, is how many emails we received from people who actually want to buy the fake business.
Yeah, and set up that website. Yeah, it's actually quite interesting. But you know, this is definitely for educational purposes. You know, people need to realize that there are, you know, look, there's scammers everywhere. There are people that think Bitcoin is a scam. But actually, Bitcoin can't be a scam. It's just, as you always say, a computer program. It's the people who are dodgy. So just make sure that when you come across something that's got to do with cloud mining, you know, yes, cloud mining there is cloud mining that is legit, but there's cloud mining where people just, you know, scam you and take your money. So you need to do your due diligence. You need to make sure that you know, you don't lose your hard-earned cash. You know, you want to make money here, not lose money.
Yeah, I just want to say about that cloud mining, that's legit. I would love to hear about it because I haven't seen one yet. But anyway, that's just my opinion.
Okay, well, Peter, well, that's it for the week. So everybody go and watch this video. It's going viral. It's amazing how many people have already watched it and sharing the video. So yeah, we've had a very, very good week, a very exciting week, and I know that the following week is going to be even more exciting. You know, with Bitcoin, it just keeps getting better.
Tell me, Tracy, do you have a prediction for the price in the next week?
Well, you know what? There's a lot of people that are saying that the price is sort of like it's just coiling up. It's ready to strike, just like a snake. And who knows, hey? Who knows? But I definitely think it's going to be going up. I'm saying in the next week, probably. Let's hope now, Peter. It shoots right past that 470 mark. I think
we'll see what happens.
If you're an investor, you definitely want to drop a bit so you can buy more Bitcoin.
Well, people keep on asking me, what do you want the Bitcoin price to be? I keep on saying I would love it to go back to $200 so I can buy more.
Yes, well,
because if you're taking a long-term investment view, why do you want the price to go up? I want the price to go down because I want to buy. I'm a natural buyer, not a seller at this stage.
Yes.
So anyway, but I think, there's just so many things happening. At some point, like we always say, I think the Bitcoin price is just going to, explode. But thank you very, very much, Tracy. The news was very informative this week. Just something else, while we're talking, something else I saw in the news. I saw some woman chanting on a Bitcoin, on another show about Bitcoin. I've never heard anything like that before. So you want to quickly tell us what happened?
Yeah, well, that was on Women in Bitcoin, and that is a weekly show that we do. And the chanter was Merv Smith, and really it's about chanting to light that fire, to light that Bitcoin fire in as many women as we can, as well as men. So kind of, I hope you're doing your chanting every single day, because you know what, it's amazing how this self-development stuff really does work. You need to believe in yourself, and you need to believe that you can do it. There's nobody stopping you.
Well, here we go.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. On that note, let me go to do my chanting, and we'll talk later on. Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you, Peter. Cheerio, everybody.
Cheerio. See you next week.